Hello Nordango students, welcome to our second constructing activity. This one's on SQL searches, and we're going to be looking at today about describing the function of SQL or SQL, using SQL to retrieve data from a database in a relational database, use SQL to retrieve data from more than one table in a relational database. So SQL or SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's a language used to communicate with a database. You can use SQL to manipulate databases and retrieve records. When you shop for items online, you will typically be searching a database that uses SQL. Your search items will be added to SQL statements, and the relevant records will be retrieved from that database. SQL is widely used. It is a standard language that comes in many varieties. Those popular are MySQL or MySQL and SQLite. For this unit, we're using SQLite. So SQL uses recognizable commands that are similar to English. For example, there's not many commands to know, but generally speaking, when you're searching, there's select, from, and where. Okay, the example shown is a select query. It is used to retrieve data from a database. So for example, select is selecting the fields in that database. So for example, item, price, and description, the ones you want to show. The from is then which table you're then selecting it from. And so in this case, it's products. And the where is what the criteria is. For example, in this case, you want to look for the keyword being toy, whether that's been met. And just a list of different operators you can use. For example, if we're using comparison, we've got equals, we've got greater than, we've got less than, we've got greater than and equals, less than equals, or this one, which is not equals to. And we've got logic, so we've got and, or, and between. And is true if both of the conditions are true. So for example, if you're looking for, so select, and the star here is selecting all the fields in that table. From TBL tracks, you're selecting all from TBL tracks. And the genre is going to be pop. And the artist is going to be spring. So basically you're looking for all that are pop and the springs. Between is looking for a range, which is looking for between two values. So in this case, if you're looking for time, between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Or, for example, is looking for when either condition is true. So in this case, you're looking for pop or rock. So any artists that are pop or rock, for example. So let's have a look at how this works in practice. So we're going back to our database that we previously had, our music database, and we're now going to do some searches on this database. And in here, we will go to the execute SQL or SQL, and we can type the three different ones that I need. So select, from, and where. And so first of all, we're just going to be looking at searching for a single table. Okay, so in this case, let's search for all the we're going to look for all the tracks in the table track but we don't want any of the genres pop. So I want to find the title, and it even comes up here. And we separate each item by a comma. Artist. Then we go to where. So I do TBL, and it tells us there's 4 here. So we want the tracks one. And where the genre, so we can see where the genre is not equal to, and we need to put this in speech marks here, pop, and we end it with a semicolon. So when I run this, we should now see all the records in the track table that are not pop. Okay, and if we want to just check, we could type genre, and so we can see there are no pop here. And maybe if we want, we can have 2, for example, or maybe we'll say, we can copy this, or genre equals rock, so I can have, so we're looking for either one. So if it's not pop or not genre, then it won't show. So if I play, oh, it's even showed me that. Let's put and, there we go, and this time we're not seeing rock and we're not seeing pop. Okay, maybe we want to see all those that are pop, so I'm going to delete this and change the operator there to equals. So we're saying genre equals pop, play it, and we'll see all the records that are pop, for example. Okay, so this is us looking at all the ones that are, we're searching a table here. Maybe we want to see all the fields, so we can use the star that identifies all the fields in the TBL tracks, and we want to see whether the artist this time is a name. So we want to see all the artists that are the spring, all the songs that are the springs. So we can say artist equals, in speech mark again, the springs. And if I play that, I can see in this database there are 2 songs about that are produced by the springs. Okay, so that's us searching for one table. How though can we do multiple tables? Okay, and it's exactly the same way. The difference is this time we need to reference which field we are getting from which table. So for example, if let's say we want, so let's do this for example. So I will do TBL dot TBL members, and I will show that one dot, and it will show me all the different fields related to that table, comma, TBL downloads, comma, down ID, and now I want TBL tracks dot title. So we're going to be selecting these 3 fields in these 3 tables. We of course going to be looking from those tables there, so we could just TBL, and we could set downloads and TBL and members. So we've got these 3 tables here, and this is where the where part we want to look. So we want to look for TBL members dot member ID is equals to the TBL downloads dot member ID, because of course they're linked in a relational database. Then we can use and it's exactly the same because we're bringing out the relational part bit here. So TBL tracks dot track ID is equals to TBL downloads dot track ID. So of course we're making sure they're equal. And maybe we want to find all of those that are that have been downloaded by the member with the surname BB. So we can search for this. Remember our semicolon at the end, so BB. And if we run this, we have got about 15 records what she's downloaded. Okay, so it's searched for all of these. Let's do some slight differences. What happens if we're looking for how many tracks that Percy Wynn has downloaded? Okay, so again, so we've got table surname. We've got, well, we're going to leave these as it is, but let's add another one onto here. We'll say TBL members, and we're going to have dot first name, comma. This is from these three tables, which is fine, where the two linking. And we're going to say the surname because we want Percy Wynn. We're going to say Wynn. And TBL members dot first name equals Percy. Okay, and this time if I run it, there should be 16, which is correct. So we're now producing some SQL searches on this, on multiple tables. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.